A community is simply defined as a group of people that live together, work together, and socialize together. The importance of the community cannot be overemphasized, hence the reason why National Community Day was set aside to celebrate this integral part of society. In Ogun State, the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun, through the State Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives, has given communities in the state a voice and the opportunity to contribute and benefit in developmental and infrastructural growth, thereby leading to urbanization of the state. The mission to rebuild Ogun State of the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun has transformed numerous communities, and this has led to them coming together under the various Community Development Committees, CDCs, led by the Community Development Association, CDAs, to complement the efforts of the governor in transforming Ogun State. The development of the communities, as it may be, determines the growth of any state. Community development is a way of strengthening the society via developing the social and economic status of the people. In this vein, the communities in Ogun State, through their associations, came together to form a common front towards supporting the government of Senator Ibikunle Amosun in reaching out even to rural areas across the Gateway State. Members of various communities across the state came together in the state capital, Abeokuta, to stage a walk from Pansheke Open Field through Okeleo across Opik to the MKO Abiola Stadium. This, they said, was to further create awareness over the existence of such associations. The event at the stadium was attended by various community members who came to celebrate and meet with members of other communities. The Community Development Associations, CDA, bestowed on Governor Ibikunle Amosun the title of Grand Patron of Community Development Associations in Ogun State. The governor, in his address, described the event as a positive turning point in the contributions of community development activities in the state, adding that community development associations act as the engine room for community decisions on employment of human and non-human resources. He said the coincidence of the Community Day celebration with the celebration of the third year in office of his administration was an indication of their support towards helping in the mission to rebuild the state. The governor also noted that the programs and activities of community associations have contributed immensely to social and economic development in the state.
It is important to mention that our people have answered the clarion call to come together as community. Today, the total number of community development associations in the state stands at 6,720, and many are still coming up. I must therefore commend the activities of all the community development associations in Ogun State, which have proven that government alone cannot execute all developmental projects. No doubt, they have continued to complement government's efforts through self-help developmental projects and activity. Undoubtedly, community development association can be described as the fourth tier of government, as their activities centers around issues which directly affect the lives of the community members, through a process based on the sharing of power, sharing of skills, knowledge, and experience for the overall development of our communities.
Governor Ibikunle Amosun, who observed that with the support of the various community associations in the state, security has greatly improved. He charged security operatives in the state and the nation as a whole to work hand in hand with communities in tackling the security menace facing the nation. The governor, in ensuring prompt support, outlined some of the plans of his administration for community associations in Ogun State.
As a way to further support these State Association of Communities, I have approved the release of a bus for the use of the Ogum State Community Development Council to enhance your activities. Of course, I have also approved that they should look for a very good and suitable land for the construction of our community house. We are not just going to give you the land, we are going to support you as well in building a befitting community. I'm also happy to inform you that the construction work and the renovation of our social development institutes in Shasha at Iperu Remo is now almost being completed. Indeed, God willing, we will be opening it when we are marking our third year in office.
In recognition of the various projects embarked on in the communities, the governor donated a bus and the sum of 50 million naira as a grant to support the community associations. This, according to the governor, will be a continuous collaboration in supporting communities in the state with their projects. There is no doubt that Governor Ibikunle Amosun's 5 cardinal points are totally for the betterment and development of Ogum State, which is why the governor, in conclusion of his speech, called on the people to always ensure the safety and maintenance of state property. Earlier, in his welcome speech, the Commissioner for Community Development and Cooperatives, Chief Samuel Duro Ayedogbon, said the importance of celebrating the Community Day signifies the importance of community development and its acceptance as a sustainable route to peaceful coexistence and national development. He said the current administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun has provided an enabling environment for community development to effectively serve as a bridge between the state, the local government, and the people at the grassroots.
Presently, there are 6,720 registered community development associations and 132 registered area community development committees in the state who have embarked on various health help estimated at 2.25 billion naira. At this juncture, it is important to appreciate His Excellency Senator Ibikunle Amosun, FCA, for his support always. Early this year, approval was given for the renovation and construction of additional facilities at the Social Development Institute Shasha, Iperu. The project is almost completed.
The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Community Development, Ogum State, Mrs. Yemi Olarinwaju, said the administration of Senator Ibikunle Amosun through the Ministry of Community Development and Cooperatives chose to appreciate the efforts of the communities in their contributions to the state.
We discovered that this is the lowest level of people that is in the communities, and they do a lot privately in self-help projects, and we thought there's a way we must really celebrate them in our own way in Ogum State. So we decided to get them together and just give them honor, give them a day to themselves.
She said the event, which is the first of its kind, is aimed at fostering unity in the communities. Also speaking, the state chairman of the Community Development Associations, Chief Isaiah Akinshaw, said the event was aimed at sensitizing people on the importance of belonging to a particular community development association in order to work together to rebuild Ogum State. He spoke further on the communities coming together.
In Ogum State, there are 6,720 registered CDAs, which are grouped into 127 areas. Your Excellency, sir, this number of CDAs, you can easily multiply them by at least 40, so you can see the strength, and it is still growing. We have 20 zonal community development committees in Ogum State. The State Community Development Council is the umbrella body of the CDAs, ACDC, and zonal CDCs. By the grouping, it is easy to reach and interact with over 600,000 people at the grassroots level that can be identified and mobilized.
The Community Day celebration was indeed full of fun and celebration, as participants were thrilled with an eating competition, as well as a competition to get the best gele dresser. All these added color to the day. To further appreciate the contributions of communities, individuals and corporate organizations for their complementary support to what the state government is doing, a dinner and award night was held to close the program. It was a colorful occasion which attracted prominent individuals such as the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Taiwo Adeolua, who represented the Governor, commissioners, as well as traditional rulers, amongst others. Awards were later presented to those that have contributed to the socio-economic development of their various communities. The celebration of the 2014 Community Day in Ogum State is another example of a standard being set. As for the people, it is a welcome development, one that they are quite grateful for.
The community organization is the most helpful medium of communicating and getting things done in every community, anywhere in the world. In Ogum State, I can testify to the fact that the community organization, for example, all around the Owu Kingdom, even our villages, have been doing a lot of work with me, and I have always enjoyed calling upon them and asking them to pursue this or that, in order to make the community progress and achieve.
This is the first time we are going to hold this sort of a development in Ogum State, even in Nigeria. So, and we make it the first person to hold the Community Development Association in Nigeria. So it's very, very interesting. So my prayer for him that he should continue the way he's doing. By special grace of God, his second time in office will always be automatic.
Some beneficiaries of the award also expressed their views.
Most importantly, for me, I think I will give kudos to the fact that Ogum State has set aside a kind of forum of this nature to always acknowledge people that are contributing to the state. And I mean, this is one of the laudable ones. So for me, I think this state is on the path of greatness. And the more this is happening, the more people are feeling accountable.
This award was given to us on that effort for us to construct maternity health center that worth 25 million within our community. This project was handling in order to elevate the health service within our community. And as I speak with you, we've been able to complete the project as at now.
I think they appreciate us first and foremost for our presence, not just in this community, but in the whole country, as a food provider of nutritious, cheap, affordable products. So I think that alone in itself is worth celebrating.
Some community leaders used the opportunity to call on their communities to identify with the association for the development of the state, as well as for establishing and enhancing cordial relationships.
Seeing is believing. We've seen what we've been doing, transformers to all CDAs some time ago, then the homeowners charter to the community. Now he proves to be a real grand patron of community development in Ogum State, because you can see him with here, wearing the same uniform with us, staying in the sun with us, identifying himself with us in totality. So he's a wonderful governor, and I wish him the best.
We organized a community day, firstly for the people to know us and to showcase ourselves, because there are many important personalities now, they don't know the importance of community. I want the corporate organizations and all the people that has not been engaged in community development activities to form community development association in their localities, in their communities. So that's the main reason why we organize this day. And two, for the governments to know that we, the community development associations across the state, about 6,000 plus of CDAs, to recognize us with the developmental projects that we are doing in our various CDAs.
Ogum State is here with us.
The governor of Ogum State, Senator Ibikunle Amosun, has described the various roles played by Australia in Africa as commendable, noting that it has impacted positively in Nigeria. The governor made this known on Thursday, 14th May 2014, while receiving the Australian High Commissioner to Nigeria, Mr. Jonathan Richardson, in his office. Governor Amosun, while calling on the Australian government to consider investing in Ogum State, said, "The visit was an opportunity to relate and discuss better ways of partnership."
As a state, just recently, of course, I think about 2 years now, we were in Perth, so I was there, and we interfaced with several of the businessmen there, particularly in the area of mining, which you've mentioned. And I want to believe that I'm sure he was with me, the Commissioner for Commerce in Perth. And I think we opened some relationships with some of them there. Indeed, they were the people that anchored the bakery and some other groups with us. Of course, we talked in the area of education while we were there, in the area of health. I think those are the 2, 3 or 4 areas where we talked about.
Earlier, the Australian Commissioner, Mr. Jonathan Richardson, stated that the aim of the visit was to identify with Nigeria and Ogum State in particular and the developmental projects of the Governor Amosun-led administration.
Australian International Merchant Bank was one of the financiers of the Lekki Expressway in Lagos and has also been involved in projects like the second Niger Bridge. So we're also interested in seeing how Australia can cooperate in agriculture. We'll bring our own expertise, particularly in the commercial sphere there. We don't have a lot of projects yet, but we can certainly see with our own, we have a strong history in that area. And education's another area with our own We've been doing a lot in terms of providing development scholarships to Nigerian public sector.
While also expressing the support of the Australian government to Nigeria in finding the missing girls of Chibok, Maiduguri, Mr. Jonathan said, Australia is already contributing to some developmental aspects of mining, education and agriculture across Nigeria.
For comments, questions and observations, send a text to 080-9578-9802 or 081-0672-1434, or send an email to missiontorebuild@gmail.com. Be a part of rebuilding our beloved gateway state.
Ọmọ Ògùn, Ìṣẹ̀yà.